Hello, this is Snake, and I'm gonna play the fan-created Master System port of Sonic Triple Trouble. Honestly, this is no real technical achievement, or at least I think it isn't really an amazing technical achievement, because the Game Gear and the Master System have similar, if not identical, hardware. Because, like, the Master System did a craptastic job in the Western worlds. So I guess Sega's line of thought was, you know what, let's repackage the Master System as a portable console.
Indeed. And it really, I think this came out after Sonic 3, didn't it?
This came out in 1994, so Sonic 3 came out on Groundhog Day of 1994.
Hedgehog Day.
Or Hedgehog Day, if you want to get all fanboyish.
Well, look who you're talking to, so...
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
But if you want to get down to it, Sonic Triple Trouble is kind of a sister game to Sonic 3 in terms of graphic and art style. And if you want to get down to it, the fact that Knuckles is here, being a pest, as always. And there's also a certain weasel, or wolf, if you are calling him his name from Japan. Knack the Weasel, or Fang the Wolf / Sniper, is also a pest in the game. But you don't see him unless you go to the special stages.
Yeah, pretty much the only way you see Knack at all in this game is through the special stages. You see Knuckles later on, and of course Eggman is being Eggman, so you do have these... I think it's the only time Sonic ever has to deal with three things all at once, so that's why they call it Sonic Triple Trouble.
Yeah, I remember that the Sonic Archie comic portrayed Knack as some bounty hunter hired by Dr. Robotnik. So it's not really Sonic Triple Trouble, it's more like Sonic Double Trouble in that comic.
This is true. I think they actually called it Sonic the Hedgehog Triple Trouble, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And the only scenes that they showed from the game were just briefly shown in like two pages of the comic.
Yeah.
It's not like an adaptation at all. Well, I guess it is by Archie standards, but Archie had pretty low standards back then, I'd like to believe.
Yeah, it was an entirely different Archie back then, so... But, indeed, Snake, if you need to save state for any of this game, especially the special stages, don't worry, I don't have any objections to that, so...
I probably won't need to.
Well, make sure you use them just in case you absolutely do, so...
Yeah. The special stages are pretty similar to Sonic Chaos. Or at least 3 of them are. 3 special stages are obstacle courses, where you have a specific time limit to get all the ways to the end. And you also have clock monitors, which increase the time that you have to get to the end.
Yeah, you don't actually see those clock monitors ever again, other than in this game, do you?
You saw them in Sonic Chaos, but they ended up stopping time. And here's Knack the Weasel, who's gonna press a switch and get his ass blasted to oblivion. GG, Knack.
Oh, so you do see Knack outside of the special stages. Never mind, then.
No, you see him in the special stages. He's at the very end of the special stages, and...
Oh, okay. Also, why did he have a Tigger moment? Why was he bouncing on his tail?
Good question, I don't know. I guess he's wanting to show everyone the wonderful thing about weasels, I guess.
Yeah. Also, how many Chaos Emeralds are in this game?
There are 6. just like in Chaos, you get the last one, the 6th one, at the very end of the game.
Oh, okay.
5 of them are found in the special stages.
Yeah.
And unlike Chaos, where you collect 100 rings with Sonic, you collect 50 rings, and then you have to seek out a Chaos Emerald monitor and then break it. If you have 50 rings, a ring of stars will appear right above Sonic's head, and you have to jump into it. Kind of like the special stage rings in normal Sonic games.
Yeah. I noticed they give you a lot of rings in this, too.
Yeah, I think there are like 200 in the first act of Great Turquoise Zone. And some of the Badniks are taken from Sonic Chaotic... wow.
Sonic Chaotix. I'd play that game.
From Chaotix, rather.
Yeah.
And they're also from Sonic CD. You see some of the mosquito-type robots in, I believe, the very next level. Here you see that coconut bomb-dropping Badnik from Chaotix. Which is a pain in the ass because Skype just dropped. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you had a brief call drop it there for some reason.
Yeah. Don't know what caused that.
At least it was brief.
Yeah.
I explained why I was asking why the levels weren't, I was asking, there's a separate path you could take below this, and the levels aren't linear, right?
The levels do have split paths. I decided to take the upper path because after getting squished, they're actually pretty forgiving if you lose rings, because, like I said, you don't have to get 100 rings, where you have to be pretty detail-oriented in what path you want to take to collect them all in Chaos, but as opposed to here, you have a lot of chances to do that.
Yeah. And one thing you mentioned to me when we weren't on the air yet, apparently you actually think you could easily beat this game in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I overestimated the length of this game. Probably because I hadn't practiced it a whole lot beforehand, but after trying some attempts, I decided, you know what, I can probably beat this game in around 30 minutes or less.
Yeah.
But this is the 3D special stage. You fly around in the tornado and you collect rings.
Oh, I never knew you could super peel out in this game. That's cool.
Yeah, it's called the Strike Dash for some reason in the American versions, because unlike Sonic CD, where you're vulnerable doing the super peel out, here you're invincible when you do it. But only if you hold up and press one of the action buttons.
I'm getting very bad memories of the advanced games now.
How so?
Well, they're similar in style, so...
Oh, yeah. Like, which one? Advance 1? Or just all of them?
I believe it was the one where Sonic was falling down from the tornado, and you were having to guide him as he was descending.
Oh gosh, that was Advance 1. That's like really bad choice of special stage design.
Oh yeah.
But here's Knack the Weasel. The second time you face him, he actually decides to try to, quote, attack you, end quote. And by attack, he just hops around on his air bike.
Yeah, there's nothing in particular that he, has any ability of, does he?
No, every time he faces you, he does something different with his machine. And all the times you fight him, they're really sickeningly easy. Pretty much like all the boss fights in this game.
Yeah, I've noticed that the emeralds don't seem to be that bad to collect. Also, why are they diamond?
Good question. Probably for the same reason they're also hexagon, I think, in the Mega Drive Sonic games. Just like in Sonic Chaos, the third act also has rings, so that you have a way to defend yourself. And it's also a very short act as well.
Yeah, it seems to me like all the acts aren't even that long.
Yeah, they're pretty short.
Just how a Sonic game should be.
Exactly. And this first boss is a flying turtle. All you have to do is jump on these turtles with springs on their back, and then press the action button once you're up in the air, and you'll be able to curl up into a ball and attack the boss, which is actually a new move exclusive to this game.
This doesn't even look that hard of a boss.
No. He doesn't even attack you at all. Well, there's that boss done. And here's our first example of Knuckles being a jerk in the game. And he blows the entire tropical paradise to smithereens.
Yep, sounds about right.
Good job being a guardian, Knuckles.
Yeah, I think this game definitely came out after Sonic 3, if Knuckles is still doing this. So...
I really love the music for Sunset Park, the second zone of the game. This is also the only zone in the game where you can hop into these carts and spin dash inside them and basically move around on them.
was that a moto bug in that cart?
Yeah, I think that was a moto bug in the cart. Or, no, it's a ladybug type Badnik. As you can see, here's the mosquito Badniks from Sonic CD. They're also just as much of a pain as they are to deal with, if not more, in Sonic Triple Trouble if you're playing the Game Gear version, because once again, the screen size ruins everything.
Sort of like how Advance 3 is with the resolution.
Yeah. The way I avoid losing rings in the first act is I take the second exploding bridge and collect the rings down there. And then once I've gone back to the upper path, I'm gonna cheese it over to the right and get the invincibility monitor. So that way, the mosquitoes don't have a way of hurting me and ruining my chances of getting to the special stage.
To be fair, I mean, I can definitely see why people would like this game. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's like the other, Sonic games on Game Gear Master System where they might have you on a pole stick or hanging on a glider or something. It seems like this game doesn't have really any gimmick whatsoever.
Yeah, because unlike the first two Sonic games, this is actually pretty closer to being very similar to an actual Mega Drive Sonic game.
Yeah.
Aspect, I believe, level design for the first two Sonic games, but then once they started programming Chaos, that became an entirely different story.
Right. And of course, just to remind you again, don't worry if you have to use save states, although I think you're doing really good without them.
Yeah, the only difficult part is trying to remember where that set of 3 springs are, because if I continue on from that point towards the end, I'm probably going to run out of time, so that's the reason why I got the clock monitor over at the left.
Okay. I mean, it looked like you're doing a really good job. Like, if I recall from when I played Triple Trouble, I couldn't even get the first emerald because I wasn't really accustomed to this kind of special stage format. It's a brand new concept that you never see in a Sonic game again. And what the hell is Knack doing?
Swooping down left to right, and only taking 3 hits before he pisses off. 3 hits, ladies and gentlemen.
Why? I just want to know why they put Knack in this game at all. Because he's not even really doing anything. Apparently he took the emeralds and hid them in the special stages. I assume that's what happened?
Yeah, assuming the special stages are supposed to be some sort of alternate pocket dimension or something like that. He's just basically there to be a failure of a troll.
If I recall correctly, Eggman's just wanting to get the emerald for his own little dirty deeds.
Yeah, basically to take over the world. What else?
Yeah. Knuckles was, of course, gullible.
Yeah.
And Knack just wants to make a quick buck out of the emeralds because he feels like they're rare and could have a very high value, and he doesn't actually know what the Chaos Emeralds do. He doesn't realize what the potential lies in them.
Yeah, he's essentially Rouge the Bat before Rouge the Bat ever existed.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why they don't bring back Knack ever again, because, to be honest, he's pretty much Rouge. I mean, the only difference is that Rouge is more of a threat.
Oh, that was close. I almost... There we go. I almost got hit and lost my rings.
And you need 50 rings to get into a special stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
These, I don't know what you call them, these windmills or whatever, they're the most annoying part about Sunset Park, because they'll stop you in midair and take you out of your jump.
Right. So how many zones are in this again? 5, 6?
6.
So, wow. So it's kind of like Sonic 1 in terms of length, in a way.
Yeah, and Sonic Chaos. And for some reason, we're flying a plane out in space. Or if you want to... Or call it night, whatever you want. It looks like space.
Okay, Sonic, you might want to keep your eyes on... Well, we can't really say road, but keep your eyes on the wheel, please.
Yo, keep your eyes in front of you. Don't look back at me.
He's like, hi. Hi. Hi.
It's like, you doing this crap? You better not mess this up.
Well, checking donations. We do not have any new donations, so not to worry, guys. I have been keeping tabs on donations. Just haven't had any so far, so...
And there we go. We're off to fight Knack again. This time, Knack is going to fire a missile at Sonic, which is just going to go back and forth.
I like how they keep, like, changing it up. Like, with every special stage, he's doing something different.
Yeah. I like how he does that, as opposed to just doing the same thing over and over again. And he just blew himself up with his own missile.
He seems very happy about that missile. Like, look at my missile, Sonic!
Haha, look at my missile, it's so big, haha!
Yep, pretty much. And that is missile. Wow, you're already at number 4.
Yep.
Dude, you're doing amazing right now.
Yeah. Can't you tell I've practiced?
Yes, yes I can, in fact.
And this is another reason why Sunset Park is one of my favorite zones in the game. It's because auto-scrolling. The third act just seamlessly transitions in.
Oh wow, it did.
Yeah. And the auto-scrolling, the train starting to leave the park, the music, I love how it seamlessly transitions in to this awesome third act.
This looks cool.
Yeah. Once again, the third act isn't too hard. In fact, it's actually pretty easy, because even if you touch the bottom part of those coconuts that those enemies carry, I don't think they'll hurt you at all if you just spin jump into them.
Yeah.
And here's the boss. All you have to do is hit him 3 times while jumping over his reverse shots. And then he's done for.
I'm just curious to see how they would actually do this in the current generation, like this kind of zone. I mean, it may never happen, but it's still cool to think about, 'cause this is a pretty cool concept for an act.
Yeah, that's kind of another comparison to Sonic 3 and how all the other acts in Sonic 3 seamlessly transition in with each other.
Yeah.
This is Junglira, however you say this zone's name.
I can check real quick, 'cause I have a FAQ up. Let's see. Oh, I can see why you're having trouble. Junglira. Something like that.
Yeah. This also has some elements of Sonic CD in it, mainly those spheres that you break in Collision Chaos. In this case, they're more widespread all over the zone, and they become much more of an annoyance than Sonic CD.
Yeah. I'm hearing that we have a donation, and yes we do. We have a $1 donation from Scott. The villains in Sonic Triple Trouble are Knuckles the Chuckler, Dr. Eggman, Knack the Weasel / Fang the Sniper, and Metal Sonic. Wait, what? You lied to me, game! Cancel the run!
Metal Sonic only appears at the end of the game as a kind of mini-boss. And here it is, the last special stage of the game. This special stage design is kind of trolly in a way. You'll see why towards the end. It mainly involves these breakable spheres, because there's one part where you have to stand on top of them and not break them, or otherwise you get screwed out of a Chaos Emerald and have to find another Chaos Emerald monitor all over again.
Yeah. The good news is that you're already a good ways into the game, aren't you? Like, I keep underestimating how short this game really is. It just feels so strange seeing a Sonic game this short.
Yeah.
Don't forget the save state if you need to. Because you might,
You know what? I actually might need to, just in case. Because this part is pretty difficult.
Yeah, go in save state if you need to, man. Oh, they give you a lot of time on that monitor. Wow.
Yep. I went down the wrong path. Okay. The trick to doing this is to not hold right like an idiot. Let the spring bounce you over to where the waterfall is. Drop down, and then just cheese it all the way to the right.
Yep.
Now this part with the breakable spheres, you need to jump on these springs and have them bounce you on top of the springs. And you cannot break them whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, your cursor's in the way.
Oh, yeah. Let me fix that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
cheese it all the way to the right. Bounce, and there we go! This time, Knack is gonna fight you with a drill attachment on top of his flying machine. All you have to do is hit him from underneath on the left or right side of him. It's not that hard.
That's right, you said that there's only 5 special stages, so this is the last one.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the way this ends is pretty comical.
Well, considering how he's been acting so
Boop.
far, I'm
Boop.
interested.
Boop. 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 Boop.
The booping is strong, ladies and gentlemen.
Knack the Weasel is nothing more than comic relief.
That was interesting to see him just constantly bounce on top of him. and so you said that Eggman has the last emerald, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you just have to fight him in which zone?
Atomic Destroyer. That's the name of his Doomsday machine. In Sonic Chaos, it was called Electric Egg, and this time it's called Atomic Destroyer.
Oh, okay. And that's a zone or 2 away from now, right?
After this one, it's gonna be the 3rd zone away from me.
Oh, okay. So we still have around 2 more zones left.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, this game's really short. I know I keep saying that, but I never realized just how short this game truly is. Also, the next zone, from what I'm seeing, is actually quite interesting.
Yeah, because it's essentially the Game Gear version of Ice Cap Zone.
Well, I was referring to the name of it, because it's actually quite...
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Because it's the only time when a zone is actually named after someone. That Flicky isn't amused.
Flicky is not amused.
Continues too, so you're pretty golden right now.
Yeah.
And of course they don't show you the full, the exact life amount either. They just count up to 9 and then that's it. Oh no, they have 2 digits, so...
Yeah, it has 2 digits, unlike the first 2 Sonic games, where it got the digit count. I think. I can't remember. It's been a while since I played those first 2 Master System games.
Yeah. At least you don't need to worry about getting 50 rings anymore.
Yeah.
That's awkward when the counters go right behind the background, though. Like, you can see the counters phasing behind the trees and stuff. You can see how that could be kind of distracting to players, but I think by now, considering 20 years from now, it's been 20 years since this game came out, I wouldn't be surprised if people were used to that by now.
Like if they played this game before?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like you, so...
Yeah, once again, I had to play this game with half of the screen cut off, which is, once again, very important.
Yeah, having half of your screen cut off in a game that really has a lot of platforming, if you can't see what's ahead of you or what's underneath you, that's going to be quite an issue.
Yeah, especially if you're playing Sonic 2 on the Game Gear, and in one of the zones, you're required to bounce off a spring and get the emerald that's in the air.
Yeah.
Which is if you have half the screen cut off, very problematic.
Well, it's a good thing that you have a full screen then.
Yeah. Thanks Sonic Retro for the Master System port.
Yep, and what I've noticed from the Master System port, it's pretty much an exact port of the Game Gear version, so...
Yep.
So any Game Gear FAQs you want to use for this game are very applicable to this.
So after bouncing on that caterpillar's head, parts of his body are going to fall down from the tree branches. All I have to do is dodge them.
What the hell is this boss? It reminds me a bit of Mystic Caves in a way. Because of the stuff falling from the ceiling and all.
Oh, yeah. And once again, Knuckles blows up the jungle.
Nux of the jungle hates all those jungles. Hey. Why does he keep doing this too? Like every time he hits a button, there's just this sheet of fire that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. I guess he thinks his way of protecting things is destroying things.
Yeah.
And also, this is Robotnik Winter Zone. This is also called Robotnik Winter Zone in the Japanese version of the game as well. It's not called Eggman Winter Zone.
Yeah. Also, I think this is exactly how I feel. This is part of the reason why I loved colors. Reason why I bring colors up is that if you guys noticed, there was a monitor that you could go and then break, and it would give you the snowboard that was in there. It reminds me a lot of colors where you didn't have to go with the wisps. You could easily just ignore the monitors they were in, or the bubbles and stuff, and just ignore them. Well, to be fair, they were capsules, but whatever.
Yeah.
They're all the same thing. The amount of capture devices Eggman has used in this game are just too much to count at this point, so... I mean, he's used balloons, cages, monitors, etc., etc. And of course, in Generations, you also had the capability to ignore monitors that contained skateboards, so it was a very nice optional thing that I loved Sega for doing. And yes, I know Colors didn't have a board. I was referring to the Wisps Crimson, so...
Tails also has monitor-specific power-ups as well. Mainly, there's one that increases the speed of his flying ability. They're essentially his version of the rocket shoes.
Yeah.
Though I really like how they made the snowboard usable via using a monitor.
Yeah. So, like, from what I've noticed, there aren't that many death pits, are there?
No. And I think I just went in a total loop.
Because I've noticed this game suffers from a bit of Sonic CD syndrome, where there are almost no death pits whatsoever.
Yeah, there are a few death pits in Robotnik Winter Zone, but otherwise not so much. I mean, in the previous zone, we had to deal with quicksand, which doesn't really classify as a death pit, but if you stay around in it long enough, it will become a death pit. Okay, I had to go down here.
I should note, for people who are curious, this isn't actually the last time Eggman holds a emerald hostage and you have to save it from him in the final act, or like in the final zone. He does this as well in Sonic Pocket Adventure with one of his devices, I do believe.
Yeah.
And he also does this with I think it was Silver Sonic in the Master System version of Sonic 2, where so you don't actually have to get all the emeralds before getting to the end. At the very least, you always excuse me, you always end up with one emerald remaining, and that's what ends up happening. So you just had them having to save it from Eggman or one of his robots at the end. But this is actually the second to last zone, is it?
This is the third to last zone.
Oh, I thought we were doing, I thought there were only 2 zones left from, the jungle one.
No, after this one, you have your, what is it called? Your token water level, and then after that one is the final level.
Right.
Blank panels, spin again. That's actually not the first time that you see a blank panel on the signpost. You actually get that in Sonic Chaos, which I never knew could happen.
You got a ring.
Yeah, you usually get those if you have amount of rings that are divisible by 10.
Right.
Usually. Well, one of the other things that's unique to this game is that there's also a Chaos Emerald signpost, which gives you 50 rings at the beginning of the zone, at the beginning of the next level. So then that way, you don't have to gather 50 rings.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. Only thing is, you have to hold on to them.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that the Master System port is kind of lacking is that this is the first Sonic game in which you don't lose all your rings. But I can't say the same for the Master System port because I think that hasn't been implemented yet. This is version 0.4, so there's still some bugs in the game.
Right.
Aside from this, there are also Master System ports of Sonic Drift 1, I think, and Sonic Drift 2, I think. All fan-created.
Are you fighting a giant penguinator?
Yes. And he just fell down into a bottomless pit.
So the only bottomless pit we've even seen in the game so far is the one Eggman used to cause one of his bosses to fall into. GG.
Well, although it's not really a bottomless pit, he just falls down and breaks. And Knuckles just sent an avalanche on us.
So once again, Knuckles presses something, and it causes something to happen. This doesn't even make sense, Knuckles. Why do you think you're an airbender where you can just, mess with elements at your own free will? What type would this make Knuckles then?
I haven't seen Avatar. So I wouldn't. All I know is that there are airbenders, there are firebenders, earthbenders. There's waterbenders as well. I guess if he just sent snow on us, that would make him a waterbender, I guess.
See, that's the thing, is that it didn't even look like it was an avalanche. It just looked like, again, just a sheet of it. Like, it wasn't actually... I mean, to be fair, this is an old game, like an 8-bit game, so I don't expect, next-gen graphics, of course. But it didn't look like the snow was going slanted like it was an avalanche. It just went straight down.
Yeah.
Like someone closed the curtain on him.
Yeah, Knuckles has the... you ruin everyone's day button. And also this monitor, specific to the water stage, lets Sonic actually swim for a short little while. They're essentially the underwater rocket boots, which don't even last very long.
If I'm going to have a bad day, I'm taking you with me.
If you get to the stage as Tails, he also has a submarine that he can use, called the Sea Fox, I think? I think that's what it was called in Western manuals. Which you also see again if you play Tails Adventure. Which, I guess chronologically takes place before all the other Sonic games, I guess.
Yeah. Also, I've noticed they had quite a habit of putting in those, transparent pipes that you see in, Super Mario 3D World now.
Oh yeah, these are like pretty specific to water levels, I think. for the Sonic Game Gear games.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait,
and some other levels, but mainly you see them a lot in the Game Gear games for Sonic. Okay, I can't go there, so the only way to go is up.
Just watching you play this zone, it looks very, very... Ugh. I can tell I would not like this zone at all.
Yeah, it's essentially like Aqua... whatever the name of that water level is from Sonic 2 on the Game Gear.
Aqua Ruin Zone.
Aqua Ruins, there we go. Yeah, it's essentially Aqua Ruins Act 2, all made into one giant zone. It is not fun at all.
Right.
Because it involves hopping into bubbles, floating up, and then jumping into some tubes.
And of course, if you guys didn't see the title card earlier, this zone is called Tidal Plant Zone. No Mega Mac in this, though. And for those who don't know what Mega Mac is, you saw a lot of it. It's that purple, pinkish liquid. We didn't even know it was pinkish until Generations, did we? We thought it was purple, so...
Oh yeah, the liquid that you see in Chemical Plant?
Yeah, it's called Mega Mac, but until Generations, we all thought it was purple because of the way the color palette was in Sonic 2.
Oh, yeah. I just thought it was toxic water or something like that.
It is. It's pretty much toxic water.
Yeah.
It is pretty cool, though, that you don't actually have to worry about scrounging for bubbles, because they tend to give you a lot of places you can get those from.
Yeah. All you have to do is just press a switch, and then there's your bubble.
See, that would be so much nicer for Sonic 1 with Labyrinth Zone. You know, considering we are doing Sonic 1 after this, so... And we as in, the stream as a whole, so...
Yeah.
And, I do believe Volk is playing that, too, so... So, it's been, I'd say, almost 10 days since we started the Sonic-a-thon, and the very next game will actually be the first Sonic game to ever come out, so... If you guys were waiting for it, you're gonna be getting it next.
Okay, this is really tricky. I believe I need to hold left to get out of this endless loop. Because freaking tubes. This brings back a lot of bad memories of Aqua Ruins.
Yeah. Also, for those who don't know how I found out the pinkish liquid in Chemical Plant is called Mega Mac, it says so in the Sonic 2 manual.
I never actually paid attention to that detail.
Yep. They also call Oil Ocean They say Oil Ocean is Robotnik's refineries. They say Mystic Cave is where Eggman was looking for emeralds. So essentially, Mystic Cave was just an emerald digging place Eggman had started on. And of course, when it came to Metropolis Zone, that was his quote-unquote capital city, as they put it. So they actually did explain the reasoning behind certain zones in the manual, which you wouldn't get otherwise in the game, which is why I always like how...
Oh, crap. And there's my first official death in the game.
I'm surprised it... Oh, that bubble. Oh, you were so close.
Yeah. Freaking bubbles!
And you were close to getting another one, too. They do give you checkpoints, right? Oh,
yeah.
no, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay, I was about to
those
say.
monitors that you break that first appeared in the Master System version of Sonic 1.
Oh, okay, so the down arrows are checkpoints.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't really make that evident. Like, you think a down arrow is like... I thought it was like a gravity shifter or something.
Yeah, you'd think that if you hadn't played the Master System games a whole lot, because they have these down arrows in the Master System version of Sonic 1, But then they removed those from the Master System version of Sonic 2 and Sonic Chaos. So
Yeah.
they never made their appearance in any of the Game Gear Sonic games ever again until Sonic Triple Trouble.
Right. It would figure that in the, it would be the freaking, water stage that there would start to be some difficulty, wouldn't there?
Yeah, they're spread throughout the other zones. It's just that I guess I never made any use of them up until, like, now.
If there's one thing I've learned from a lot of platformers, like Sonic and Mario, is that water levels and platformers do not go together. It's very, very awkward. Because it breaks the flow, it can really cause frustration. So...
Come on, there we go! Yes.
Oh, you got it.
I believe this is the first game where you're... Oh no, Sonic Chaos had it as well. In Sonic Chaos, if you got the other character's sign, you would get a continue, whereas if you got your own character's sign, you would get an extra life. In this case, if you get another character's sign, you would get 10,000 points. You have to get Knuckles' sign to get a continue. And speaking of Knuckles, here he is! Actually finding you with actual machinery.
Oh no. Oh no. Of course, it's not as cheesy as it is in Sonic 3, where you can just constantly hit him over and over and over again.
Yeah, you can't cheese it either because there's no Hypersonic or Supersonic in this game. Or any of the Game Gear games for that matter.
It just... I'm kind of surprised that you never really see the Master Emerald at all in this either. You just deal with Knuckles.
Yeah. There we go. I guess they assume that, or we're supposed to assume that all of this is supposed to take place on South Island. I guess, because South Island is the only place that had 6 emeralds.
Well, to be fair, Sonic 2 also took place on South Island, and that actually had 7 emeralds, so...
Yeah.
So it just seems to be whatever is convenient for the game.
Yeah.
And the good news is, once again, the game does give you many bubbles.
Thank goodness. Bye, Knuckles! See you later. Or rather, never. Because you're freaking dead, drowned underwater.
And for some reason, when it blows up, it spirals in its explosion. It's just not a bunch of explosions, it's got a spiral.
So this is Atomic Destroyer Zone. Very Death Egg-like in appearance.
And this is actually the final zone of the game, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how exactly do you get the last emerald from Eggman?
He just gives it to you after you beat the crap out of him.
So, that's it, he just gives it to you.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's dangerous to go alone, take this.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially that's what it is. Oh, you beat the crap out of me. You have won the prize.
Wow. Okay, Eggman, that seems legit. It's like he didn't even try in this. You don't see Eggman really whatsoever at all in this game either, do you? Until the very end.
Yeah, you don't see him until the very end of the game. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to go down here.
Oh, there was an extra life. Not like you're gonna need it, though.
No.
I think you got this.
Yeah, I got this.
You got this, Snake.
bouncing bird in between the springs for some reason, because why not?
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay, I guess I'm supposed to go left.
You got a maze going, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I hate Atomic Destroyer. It's because you thought Aqua Ruins was bad, this is probably 10 times worse.
Oh goodness. Yeah, you do need to go left there. Cause I saw it look like it did a U-turn.
And there we go. That's the end of Act 1.
Oh, well, never mind then.
I have this somewhat memorized, but at this point, it's not like I'm gonna die a whole lot and get a game over and have to continue a whole lot. Act 2, however, has a kind of confusing maze towards the end, which confused me when I practiced this level a whole lot. I don't think I'm gonna have to look at a level map or anything.
Yeah, I haven't even really had to rely on the FAQ, because you've been handling it all very well. In the meantime, we got a $5 donation from Jonathan Reinhardt. Jonathan Reinhardt here. So besides an Emerald Guardian, Knuckles is also a demolition expert? That's news to me, but awesome job with the run. Put this to whatever. What would you like to put it towards, Snake?
Bomb! Bomb and Chaotix.
Wow.
I know he's probably not gonna have a winning chance by now at all, but why not? Might as well.
Yeah.
Oh. You took me back up. Oh. Okay.
See, I will give Super Mario 3D World credit, because I bring this up because it has a similar, gimmick with the pipes and, the tubes and being all transparent and all that, and you travel through them. Same old thing it's doing here in Sonic. The thing is, though, is that it didn't put mazes on you.
Yeah, it wasn't forced.
Yeah, they did it in a way that, like I said, wasn't forced on you. They didn't do it in a way that was just maze-infested. Because I noticed they did that for the Game Gear version of Sonic 2 as well. Which was just as annoying.
Yeah, it's all over the place in Sonic 2, especially Scrambled Egg Zone. Now that is a nightmare, because at the very end of one of the levels, or actually in Act 3 of Scrambled Egg, you have a lot of tubes that you have to go through in order to actually get to the very end.
Yeah. Gotta get lost.
But it's even more nightmarishly so because they're all throughout every single level of Scrambled Egg.
Yep. Gotta love what Hell Dragon said though. Gotta get lost. Gotta get lost. Gotta get lost and where the fuck am I? Brilliant. I am very surprised about how quickly you've gone through this game, especially now that you've gone, gotten all the emeralds, in the special stages. It's quite amazing.
Go down here, no.
You're just flying through this stage now, or game. So
yeah.
Good thing too, because well. That's pretty much going to summarize the rest of the day for the Sonic-a-thon. It's just a bunch of quickies, so... That doesn't mean a lot of the quickies are you know, mediocre, obscure games though, because one of them happens to be Sonic 1, as I said earlier. So.
Hey, I think this is the way I need to go, seeing how I haven't broke these bricks yet.
Yeah. I can see if we got any more donations. Nope.
Ah, there's the end right there.
Is it going to pull a Crisis City Generations on us? Or is it you just see the goalpost there, but you just can't get to it for whatever reason?
Okay, I'm...
Yeah, that has to be the end.
Yeah, that is the end. I recognize that part from anywhere.
Like, how do you even adjust which direction Sonic goes?
Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. It's always the last tube you check.
Yeah, puzzles do not work in platformers either, especially when games like this aren't supposed to have puzzles.
No, this is about going fast.
Well, I mean, like, puzzles are okay, they just don't need to be like that.
Yeah.
Where they're just long, drawn out, and breaking the flow, you know. It was like a little puzzle, quick puzzle that takes only 2 tries or whatever. Kind of like the best way to compare it is that little puzzle in Sonic Adventure DX, where you're trying to light up all the lights all at once.
Oh, yeah.
To open the door to find a leg.
Here's Metal Sonic.
Wait, why the hell is Metal Sonic in this game?
Well, why not?
So we've had to deal with Knack, we've had to deal with Knuckles, we've had to deal with Eggman, we've had to deal with Metal Sonic. It all in one game, and he does his move from Sonic CD as well. I've noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's essentially what some people would call a clusterfuck. It's not even a triple trouble anymore.
Why is he trying to be all spooky on you?
Okay, that was when I couldn't hit him. Now I can. Because he has a certain period of time where he's vulnerable, and now he's not again.
That's so weird.
Well, as long as I hold on to one ring, I'll pretty much be unstoppable.
It's quite interesting how much they kept promoting Metal Sonic in the older games. Like, you saw Metal Sonic in almost every game. Now, once in a blue moon.
Yeah, because Shadow has to take the place of Sonic's rival.
Yeah. I guess you could... I just noticed that. They have an alternative character, and they just made that replace the character it was supposed to represent. Like I said, you had Knack, and he was pretty much Rouge in the 90s. You had Metal Sonic, he pretty much evolved into Shadow and later on as Sonic's rival.
And Knack is here for no specific reason at all.
It's like, hi.
It's like, hey guys, what's going on? Ah!
Oh, hi, Eggman.
And using a bouncing machine for no specific reason at all, I guess. This, however, is another story, because I believe he fires beams, or not exactly a beam, just a destructive wave of explosives, I guess. That's what it looks like.
Weird. Also, we got a $1 donation from Possibly Cow. What makes Knuckles a good demo man? Apparently not chuckling. Throw this towards Mighty and Chaotix, please. You guys rule. Still coming down from that Donnie and Sonic 2 hype. People are still... I've noticed that people have still been getting over that and Spinball. Like, ever since those 2 runs have happened, I've not heard... Like, I've still been hearing that, so... Apparently it's been quite a talked about run, so...
Well, yeah, that was actually very impressive how you did Spinball, because I've only been able to get to the last level. But I've always ran out of lives on that stage. That specific stage.
Yeah.
And here's the second part of or rather third part of Eggman's attack. He's gonna fire energy balls at you. Blue spheres, I guess.
Blue spheres speeds by.
Oh, that's a blue streak. But,
I know.
but okay.
That's a joke.
Yeah, okay, I guess that works.
It works for this game anyway.
Yeah. Whatever, you're dead. Or not. There's this part, which is annoying. Because there's only one part where you can hit him. It's whenever he's in this tube.
Oh, this looks familiar.
Oh yeah, this looks very familiar from... This reminds me of the Sonic 1 on the Master System for some reason.
Yeah. Keep that ring as long as you can.
And I guess a bit of Sonic 2 on the Master System as well. 'Cause we all know how long that... Fine.
Yeah. I just don't understand how is it that his little I guess hovercraft or whatever, how has it survived this many hits? Does he spontaneously just like heal it or something? Is he having a case of, you know, the bots and Chronicles where he just spontaneously have the hovercraft heal itself?
Bye, Eggman! And that's game.
Oh god, why is his outfit black and yellow?
Color limitations. It doesn't have the same color capabilities as the Game Gear does.
Hi, Emerald.
That's Sonic Triple Trouble, everyone.
And Knuckles was in a cage for some strange reason. Bye, Knuckles. I still don't quite understand why you were even here, or how you couldn't just punch yourself out of the cage, but hi.
Don't even know how you were getting all those switches, but okay.
Why couldn't we just leave Knuckles in the cage?
Seems like a fair fate for him to have. After screwing you over in the Mega Drive games, and constantly blowing things up, or bringing a bunch of snow down on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna protect my island by destroying it.
Yep.
I'm gonna protect the shit out of it.
Yep, that was actually a very quick game. And I can only imagine how much quicker it would have been were it not for the special stages too.
Yeah, it would have been quite a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But I imagine it... I guess given if you practice Sonic 2 on the Master System quite a bit, it's definitely not going to be as quick as this.
It's understandable. Like, I've noticed that they tend to make the Game Gear games very quick little adventures. So
yeah,
which is how it should be, because they're
exactly.
It's on a portable system, and
yeah,
you know you're only using portable systems on the go. So
yeah, in this oh, and now Sonic's color palette shifted to greenish because color limitations on the Master System ports.
Scourge, how'd you get in this game? Scourge, please. Reminds me of that alternate universe in Archie Comics where you had Amy in her original classic form as Rosie the Rascal and all that. And whereas Amy in the current, you know, in the main universe, she was obsessed over Sonic and loved him. And Mobius or whatever you call it,
Mobius.
She hated him. Yeah. Well, no, it was a different spelling of Mobius.
Oh, yeah. of the evil alternate universe.
Yeah.
Because that's totally original.
Totally original.
Why did they even choose to make Evil Sonic a recolor anyway?
Yeah. I'd also like to know, how is it that we didn't have Tails helping us beforehand? Where was he even at? Apparently he was doing his own run.
Tripping out on mint candy, or eating a bunch of mint candy.
Sonic tripping trouble, then.
Exactly!
Well, that was our playthrough of Sonic tripping trouble.